Hello and welcome. It is a new year. It is 2025. It is the very first episode of the Hayley Osborne Show for 2025. And I am stoked to be back in your ears. I've had a lot of messages everywhere, actually, because this podcast goes out across, my emails to let you know that there is a new episode that has dropped across my social media. Instagram, where I hang out the most, but also on Facebook and LinkedIn, of people saying, I'm really excited for the first episode of 2025, Hayley. So thank you so much and welcome. We have had such a beautiful break. And I have said before that, the podcast powered through having my third child in August last year in 2024. We have not missed a week. And so if you cannot have a break over the Christmas and New Year period, then when can you? And so I'm back with a fire in my belly to be in your ears, delivering you some amazing, tips and tricks and education and upskilling and all of the things, goodness in and around marketing to help you and educate you to be able to have the biggest impact with the least amount of time and effort in your business. And I'm pretty excited for what 2025 has in store. So much so that I thought it would be really nice to introduce this year with a beautiful episode around building an unbreakable business in 2025 and what I have seen over the last month, 6 weeks of things happening in the market in terms of how we are marketing our business and how we are putting our best foot forward a lot. This is something I'm really passionate about. I'm passionate about helping small business owners grow and educate you on the latest and greatest things to help you save time in doing it yourself. And so I have seen so much, and this is what I really want to bring to the table in this episode. I love learning, and in my downtime over Christmas and New Year, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research so I can bring you the best. And so that's what I've done. And things have changed a lot, but I took a really nice break. We didn't go anywhere. We hung out at home, my husband and my three kids, and it was just lovely. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to do traveling and all the things with such a young little human. And so we just, we love just hanging out together and lots of long day plays and just fun water play and all the things and lots of rest, which was so good. But I wanted to talk to you about building an unbreakable business in 2025 because I do think that, if you've always done what you've always done, then you'll always have what you've always got. And so I don't want that for you. I do see and I understand why the stats are around, lots of small businesses start and they'll fail in the first year because they break. And so I want to help you build an unbreakable business. And I want to give you some tips of mine that I think are going to help to guide you in 2025 to build an unbreakable business. Okay. So what I want to start with is your omnipresence. All right. And that's a thing. People, your customers expect you to be meeting them where they are and they expect to see you everywhere. So I cannot tell you how many times I will go onto somebody's website. I will scroll to the bottom. I will look to find their Facebook, their Instagram, their LinkedIn, and sometimes I'll click through to where I need to go. Sometimes they open over the top of the website. Hopefully they're opening up in a new window. And sometimes they go to a broken link. And I'm just thinking to myself, guys, this is where your marketing foundations fall apart. So I want you to know that having an omni-channel presence in 2025 is going to be really important for you. Content doesn't translate well across all platforms. So one size doesn't fit all, unfortunately. but you do have to get smarter in the way that you are creating more strategic content online and how you are delivering it to your audience, because consumers, we are expecting more. We are expecting brands that we love and engage with to come to the table and entertain us, to educate us, and to create some sort of spark, right? And there's so many marketing materials that we see every single day when we leave our house that we have to compete with as business owners. And it's kind of like whoever screams the loudest wins. But with a strategy, I think that you can win. And if you have competitors, that's great. It means that there is an existing market out there for you, but you have to do some really good research and plan out what is your point of difference. What's your USP? What's your unique selling point? And I think in order to have an omni channel presence, you need to understand the foundations first. So it does mean that you're seamlessly integrating everything across all platforms, online, offline, to make sure that your customers have a consistent experience and that you're meeting them where they are. Okay. If you don't know what that looks like, and if you haven't quite landed that yet, that's me. That's where I come in to give you a hand. But it's as an example, it's pretty obvious where someone comes into your world. I like to break things down. I like to actually humanize them. And what do you mean, Hayley? Give me an example, give me a practical example, because I don't know what you're talking about. So someone comes into your world on Instagram, right? And they see you, they see everything about you, they think they know who you are, and you have a conversation with them that then continues on email. Okay. And then they finalize their purchase with you, whether that be over if you've got a shopping cart or whether that be if you have a service in store. So over your website, okay, that's where the transaction then happens. And so the conversation continues over Instagram, then over email, and then whether it be visual or whether it's, for me, it would be locking in a time to catch up to then create a social media strategy for you or a marketing strategy, or you close the purchase and you join my membership, Superhero Marketing. But the conversation has to continue beautifully through the line to then convert into a paying client. So that's an example of your experience that you create for your clients and your customers, because I do think that we want to have these awesome experiences as consumers. And I think we're now becoming more conditioned to be wowed and, things because of social media. We're not wowed as easily. So it's up to us as business owners to wow our customers. And that I am not talking here like fireworks, balloons, bells and whistles, everything. There are certain ways that you can wow your audience by being you and being genuinely you. So I think humans buy from humans, and you've got to figure out what that looks like for you. But let me tell you, when you get that right, when it synergizes so beautifully, it is like a match made in heaven. And then that is how you create that beautiful experience for your customer. If you don't know what that is, let's chat. You can book in a chat with me via the link in my bio on Instagram or through my website for free. And we can chat about what that looks like for you. If kicking off with that has confused you, that's kind of like your foundation. Okay. The next thing, excuse me, I want to talk about is video. So it's pretty much a no-brainer. Video marketing is not going anywhere. If anything, we just have to get better at it. And there's so many programs that are now around to help you to be able to create great videos. When I first started in this business, so that was like 7 years ago now, I didn't know how to create video content, and now I do. And now I teach my clients how to do the same, because we as customers, as consumers, are becoming a little bit lazy. And by that, I mean we expect video to play for us. So if it's not a video, we have to touch, we have to see more, we have to scroll, we have to do this. But video, you don't need to do that. It just plays automatically for you. And we, as business owners, are giving our customers what they want through a video experience. So as business owners, we need to get really good at video. And, obviously Instagram have just increased their video length to 3 minutes. But if I'm being honest, I don't think that customers and consumers have a 3 minute attention span. So I do think that the short videos that are catchy are still going to create the most traction because I don't think we're there for the long time as customers. We need to know right from the beginning how business owners and what it is that you sell benefits us. And that's what I think is like the game changer is you have to get really good at getting people's attention in the first like 10 to 20 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. And that's just the way it is. And so there's so many things now to help you be better at that. And AI can help you be better at that when you're creating videos. I think that I would like to see lots of partnerships take place in 2025. I think that'll be growing, but partnerships in kind of unexpected places. I think there is a spot for that. And I'm not talking about, your big influencers. I'm talking about more of a focus on micro influencers, okay? And because the smaller the audience, I think the more authentic it is. So just remember that, say you've got 50 people that follow you on Instagram, 50 people on Facebook, and you've got 50 people in your database. That is pretty much going to fill a small cinema. And then, it goes on and on. So these, if you put it into real life circumstances, it's actually a lot. And then you take it up to 100. You all of a sudden have 100 of your ideal clients. And that's what we're looking for, okay? We're looking for quality, not quantity. 100 people, big cinema. Okay. And then we go to say 500. Well, we're going to need to get a local stadium. Okay. A local, say football or cricket stadium that has the stadium on the side, the kind of, what are they called? The aisles for people to sit in. They climb up, they sit in there. And then if you're looking at, you've got 1,000 followers, hopefully they are all your ideal clients. Then we are looking at, something bigger, like a basketball stadium or something like that, to fit everyone in standing room only kind of thing. And so do you see where I'm going? It's quality over quantity in terms of your audience. And that's why it's nice to have those smaller influencers and create those partnerships rather than those big bang. Like it doesn't have to be big bang moments all the time, but it's nice partnerships that fuse, that benefit both parties. I think I would like to see, and I think we'll be seeing more of that in 2025. And I think that that is one of the fastest ways to grow. And even if you're a service-based business, this is still a possibility. And I'm, doing that for myself this year is creating fusions with, business partners or just partners that have similar businesses to mine, but are not the same so that you can capitalize off of each other's audiences. And that is the biggest and the fastest way to grow is micro influencers, where you will get really authentic audience connection. That is what you want. And you want quality over quantity every single time. And I think that if you can story tell well with that fusion, that is a match made in heaven for growth. And that is something that will help you to build an unbreakable business in 2025. So if you've always done the same thing, this will be a cut above for you to continue to grow into 2025 and use other people's audiences to help you grow that aren't massive audiences, and you will see your growth skyrocket to have something that you didn't have at the start of 2025. So mark my words and watch what I do this year. And if you need help to do the same thing, you know where to go. I think another thing that will grow is using AI to really lean into your personality. So building more bots, I guess, like chatbots that are more like you and your brand personality. I think that is going to set business owners a cut above. And when an example of this is you're outward looking in at a business and you're thinking to yourself, how does that business do all of the things that they do? How are they everywhere? And you know the owner, and you think, you're never going to ask, how do you do all of this? Because some questions are stepping over the line into, well, that's what I get paid for, so we can work together. But I think that you'll find the common answers will be, chatbots and AI as your 11th man, if that's what it's called. I can't remember. But, you're 11th man on the pitch. It's like those in the crowd. The crowd help the team to win. And that's what I think AI is going to be this year. It's not going to go anywhere. If anything, it's going to get better. However, I think that conversational marketing in and around AI needs to be taken and at kind of not face value, but as business owners, if you are using AI, I do strongly suggest that you read and use that as a research tool. Okay. If you're developing chatbots, that's a different story where, it's, as an example, Hayley, what's a chatbot? So if you are asking for somebody to download your freebie, comment the word free and I will send it to you. Comment the word free below and I'll send it to you. And so then that instigates the trigger to then send a direct message into the inbox, either Facebook or Instagram. And then that just, that triggers a whole heap of conversation. So I think that that's great. But I do think that when you are using AI and you are trying to use it to storytell to grow your business, be very careful, because what I see happening is it actually is harming your SEO, so your search engine optimization, from appearing, because what I'm starting to see is everyone sounds the same, and that's not good. And so the thought leadership pieces are going to shine in terms of like written blogs and things like that, because Google will recognize them as different to everything else that's out there in the market. Because if everyone is using the same AI tools and everyone in your industry is asking the same questions, of course it's going to spit out the same answers. And then you are going to appear as the same as everybody else. And so when someone searches in your zone of genius, of course, like even 100, 200, 300 pages are going to come up. You are not going to appear on page one. And that's the aim of the game. And AI, I think, is going to and is making everyone sort of sound the same. And you don't want to be caught in that sea of sameness, because that is not going to help you to build an unbreakable business in 2025. Use it as a research tool. Help it to become really intelligent and like you, but then don't just use it at face value. Okay. I think you need to take it a step up and keep that human element, because that is what keeps you relevant and, gives you a higher relevance score with Google, so to speak. I think that we're going to see a lot of AR and VR, so augmented reality, and that will happen for, trying out products and, looking at furniture and, looking around homes and things like that. And then like virtual reality will be more for like product showcases and things like that. So I think that this virtual reality and augmented reality is going to skyrocket, and it will really depend on the business that you have, whether or not you use that. So I think for trying out products virtually, like fashion, like beauty, definitely, and furniture, I think that like the augmented reality is going to shine. And then virtual reality will be those kind of immersive brand experiences like virtual tours or product showcases or things like that. And I think that for a service-based business like mine, VR would be great, but not augmented reality. So I think, whatever business you have, lean into these new things and try them, because I think that's what will give you as well a cut above, and just be more professional, but it needs to be blended with human content. Okay. So I think that Google still has a place, but I think there is definitely I think I'm going to see a trend where I'd like this. My prediction is that there'll be like a search beyond Google. So I do think Google has a place, but consumers will continue to search elsewhere before making a decision. And we saw that in 2024 as well. But for business owners, again, like I said at the beginning of this episode, it's about meeting your customers where they are and showing up in the search results like your omnipresence, right? So I think you can use alternatives like YouTube and Pinterest as search engines to meet your customers where they are. And even Facebook and Instagram, right? By adding in the hashtags and by, writing smart captions, I think that will help you to meet your customers where they are in a search beyond Google. Okay. Because Google has a place, but customers are getting smarter and they're using other avenues as search engines. So Pinterest is actually a search engine, and I'm pouring a lot of time into my Pinterest account at the moment. YouTube is awesome, okay, as well. So if you haven't explored these different types of platforms beyond Google, I think it would be a really good time to start. Because I think as a small business owner, you really need to be optimizing your content for the content to be discoverable on these other platforms rather than just focusing traditionally on SEO. I think it still definitely has a place, and I love a good blog for all those keywords, but we're getting smarter. So if you haven't used something like Answer the Public, that might be a good time to start to use that to understand as a listening tool what people are searching for, and then being able to meet them where they are on other platforms outside of Google. Okay. And then I think community-led growth is the last one I want to talk about, which is, I think, my focus for this year. So I think brands are going to be we're going to see brands building tighter communities, okay? And that means through Facebook groups or private membership platforms like My Superhero Marketing or loyalty programs. And I think businesses need to make community-led growth a part of their marketing strategy. That is definitely part of mine. But I think that, loyalty programs, membership, like superhero marketing, like membership platforms, and exclusive Facebook groups that are private are going to be where we're seeing a lot of growth, okay? Because I do believe that we crave and want that human connection. And I think if you are a service-based business specifically, the clients that you have, they are wanting to be around like-minded people of what it is that you sell or do. And so by creating these private community groups, whether it be Facebook or whether it be through your membership platform, it gives people an opportunity to share a similar vision and to be around like-minded people having similar conversations. Like, let's just call it in and around building businesses. So that's my zone of genius. That's what we discuss inside Superhero Marketing. So that is essentially designed to help you create marketing activities and strategies to be able to have the biggest growth with the least amount of time and effort. And the time and effort part is where I come in to help you with all my tips, tools, tricks, and everything that I have built inside of my business to give you the opportunity to use all of them so that you free up your time so you're not wasting time. And I do think there is an element of doing your own research in and around things, but why spend 4 hours doing research when you can spend like 30 minutes learning and implementing the how, what, where, when, rather than 4 hours doing it on your own? I just think there's a place for it. And I think people are going to be looking more for places where they can find their community and find their tribe. I think also, I think with these community-led groups, you're going to see a lot more user-generated content coming out. So that's my focus, because I do know, and I started off the year in superhero marketing with teaching the members how to gather social proof. Okay. And so that is testimonials, and, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, how to ask for them, how to create them, what to actually do, because I think that user generated content, when you're using the social proof as you are who you say you are and you're good at what you do, because nothing screams like you're amazing like somebody else is saying it, will help you as a business to be able to foster a community in and around your business. Okay. So don't take that for granted. I think that using that user generated content for good and not evil to help you to grow your business is going to help you to be able to build that unbreakable business this year. And I think, everything I've spoken about today are the important foundations that you need to have in your marketing strategy this year to be able to build an unbreakable business, because, we're seeing lots and lots of business owners flood the market in all forms of marketing. And so I don't want you to get left behind. And so I hope this has been helpful. I hope it hasn't overwhelmed you. I hope it has given you the spark and the fire that you need to be able to fuel your marketing efforts this year, because I want to see you win. I think that I've said this 1,000 times, but I know that a rising tide lifts all boats. And I do believe in community over competition. Okay. And we are all here to win. If anything, it just, small business owners make up the backbone of our economy. And if more small business owners are winning, then I believe that we are all winning. And so I hope this episode has been motivating for you to kick off your year in style and build an unbreakable business in 2025. That is all for me for now, guys. I wish you a beautiful day and thank you for joining me in your ears wherever you are. And I will see you next week for another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show.